So my name is Sammane, and today I will show you some stories, real stories, that I lived in the last 20 years, more 25 years, time flies. And this is me in 2014. So I was 440 pounds. My company was making $5 million a month. But my health was not good, you can see. I was sleeping on a chair at that time. I couldn't lay down. I couldn't tour my own company. So I needed to make changes. But the story does not start here. I was born in Syria. It's been a while. And today is a very special day for Syrians. It's the anniversary of 1 year of a successful revolution that's toppled the President Assad, if you know them. Yes. Closer. Is that better, guys? Anyway, let's repeat that because it's great. Today is the anniversary of the Syrian revolution. They've been a year. And just by accident, a year ago, I was here in Dubai too, watching TV and not believing my eyes. And I was born in Syria, but when I was 2, my family moved out first to Germany, spent there 5 years, then to Saudi Arabia for a while, then to France. I spent in France 10 years. I did practically all my high education there, from high school to the PhD. Then I moved to Canada, where practically I become a founder and an entrepreneur. And I've been more than 8 years now in the US. And I will tell you something. Between all these countries, the most impressive is Canada. Is really a milk pot when you can do your life as a Canadian. But the most interesting for business is really USA. So my PhD in France, it's about symbolic reasoning. At that time, I did a tool, and just for nostalgia, it was called TheoSim, like the name of the company today. So the name of the company TheoSim come from theorem symbolic. At that time, I think 2005, nobody really cares about reasoning or automatic reasoning. They don't call it even AI at that time. And I did a tool that was doing 65,000 context window thinking. So for me, it was a big deal. They told me, what you can do with this? Nothing. So go become a researcher in university. And that's the only thing in 2005 that you can do with automatic theorem proving, symbolic reasoning. However, in 2006, Bob, someone who I owe him my first deal, knocked on my door in Concordia University, Montreal. And he told me, I have a project. I want to build a machine that can detect vibrations on bridges. Can you do that? I told him, of course, I can do that. I'll be honest with you, I had no idea how to do it. And I think some of you will recognize that as an entrepreneur. I wanted to become an entrepreneur at that time. And I accepted the challenge. And I became, because I hired people. We did the machine. I didn't build it myself. I hired people. They developed it. And it was a success. And we did more deals with Bob. So I hired the right people. That was the difficult part. However, that was just the beginning. It's not moving. Here you go. So in 2008, that means 2 years after working with Bob, he said he's want to retire. He was 82 years old at that time. And he wanted to sell his company to a big company called Sodexo. He was a consulting company. He had a small lab. And he told me, I want to get rid of the lab. Nobody want to buy it. My wife was working in that lab. She was just as young as myself. Told him, no, don't close the lab. We'll buy it from you. He told me, are you sure? I said, yeah, of course. As usual at that time, very confident. And this decision, I thought at certain time, a year after that, it was a very bad decision. But then it seems it was a great decision. So we changed the name of the lab that he had to Garmin. Garmin was a great success. We went from $40,000 a month when we bought it to 5 million a month. At that time, of course, I think that's equivalent to today 50 million. We have did more than just lab. It was a lab at that time doing testing for construction. We added environmental testing. We added pharmaceutical testing. We built a manufacturing facility. We exported to 19 countries at that time. But then my health issues kicked in. And the first thing I learned from that experience, you are never ready. You learn while drowning practically. You have no hope but to survive. But it went well beside the health issue. So the hardest decisions sometimes, and you need to accept doing things. In 2013, my health was so degraded. I don't remember 2013, by the way. It was the time when I was really so obese and so sick. But I needed to make a change. I sold it to a company called Advenomics. And it was not a big amount of money, but let me rebuild myself. I lost a lot of weight. I'm still maintaining. And I tell people, maybe I don't know if someone recognized that issue of losing weight, gaining weight, suffering with weight. Anyone here recognize that? Good, good. So we know what we are talking about. So I didn't share the story immediately. I was afraid at a certain time to regain the weight quickly, but I did it. So I maintained 200 pounds until now, lost. And that sometimes you need to accept that you have an issue and rebuild again. So Labofine, this is a real picture, it's not AI, of Labofine today. However, I sold Labofine. So Labofine, something we started at 2015 after I lost the weight. And it was supposed to be different. How different? I didn't want to grow it at that time. I said I want balance between personal life, health, and business. But I cannot help myself. I started growing it anyway. And this is a moment. This is a show that's still maintaining, by the way, every year in Anaheim, California. For people who doesn't know where is Anaheim, it's near LA. It's where Disneyland is, and a lot of conferences happen. 2016, I was there promoting Labofine. And in the show, I met that American guy who was amazing but arrogant, as a lot of American people. And I told him, please try us. We are great in Labofine and testing. And he said, no, thank you. We have a great lab in California, an American lab, and we are testing there. So he fueled me a lot. And I decided to become the American lab in California. It was the time of Trump. This is the picture of American testing lab. And at that time I said, okay, let's call it American testing lab. There is no American more than that, right? And the slogan, it was Trump trending at that time, was let's make testing great again. And it worked. We are laughing today, but in 2019, I went to the same show, and some people was swearing that they know me since 25 years. I didn't tell them yes or no. I didn't want to lie, of course, but what to tell someone who was shouting in the middle of the conference, Sam, I know you since 25 years. Okay, good. Some people thought they are my student, and I was teaching in San Diego. I never teach in San Diego. I teach only in Montreal. So anyway, but the story is not that easy. When I told my wife, let's build American testing lab in California, she was managing the lab in Canada. I told her, okay, let's do it. She said, of course, let's do it. As usual, she is supportive, but we don't know what we do afterwards. So I wanted to hire someone. Then I said, let's move this guy. He is brilliant in our team of marketing to supervise the people we are hiring in the US. And she told me, don't send anyone. I am going, not the employee. The weather is terrible in Canada. It's great in San Diego. I said, okay. I thought it's easy, but it was tough as a decision. So I was spending 1 week in Canada, 1 week in the US at that time. And we opened offices after that in Germany, in India. And the perception shifted quickly. Like in 2019, people thought that Labofine in Canada is an office of American testing lab. That's what's weird. Even the lab in Canada, the people who used to work with us, now prefer working with us more because we are American lab. So here comes the new venture, or my second exit. People from Germany in the company Tentenus came and purchased my group. And they made me the CEO of Tentenus Labs of America. It was their venture in the US. And here I become the CEO of that group in the United States. So 2021, it was my third exit because after I joined Tentenus, we grow it fast. And a group purchased Tentenus itself at $1.2 billion. So that was, yes, thank you. By the way, at that time, my labs that they purchased was only 10% of the total sales. But we made it 50% of the profit. That's the secret of the US. We had 32 labs in the US at that time, and the overall group is 120 labs. And 50% of the profit is the US. So why I'm telling you this? You need to do something in the US. The businesses in the US is one of the most impressive places. Now, this is the new experience for me. Because until now, it was my companies, I was the founders, but also the CEO. When it become a big group that big, I'm still the CEO, but you inherit people who rose through office politics. I don't know if people recognize office politics here. Who recognize that? Okay, you suffer with office politics, right? But some people rose quickly, and you find people with you that they are VP, CTOs, CFOs, who has no clue. But you don't know how they got there. And that was a shock because I got there by being successful. I had no choice, by the way. I was drowning. If you are not successful, you are done. But for them, it's all about how to manipulate, how to get. So it's a new experience. By the way, people talk about boards in the companies like they are geniuses. They are not. Most of the time, they are burdened to deal with. So that's the issue that any founders will deal with when doing an exit. And my message, when you sell your company or exit, prepare to leave. It's not your kingdom anymore. You did well by exiting, by selling, right? Let's do something else. So 2023, I told you about my symbolic reasoning things, right? In 2005. I abandoned that. I became a CEO, founded companies in healthcare, labs, and then come ChatGPT. Are you using ChatGPT? Oh, good. Anyone don't know what ChatGPT is? Wow, good. Last time some people said no, we don't know. Now, no one. Anyway, it was a shock because ChatGPT in 2023 was handling only 8,000 tokens as context window. My small tool 20 years ago, it was 65,000. So that was a wake-up call, but also a meaning that word has shifted. 2005, nobody cared about automatic reasoning. 2023, it's all about automatic reasoning. It's all about AI. And by the way, today, ChatGPT, they announced yesterday, can handle 1 million tokens. Good, it's improved. So in 2023, I said, why have abandoned the race? I think I was built for that race. I was already in advance long time ago. So I rejoined the race and I started Houston. 2023, 25 years ago, I was an AI researcher. So I went back and I started, here I'm running, right? To catch up in the race. It's not easy, by the way. It's very competitive. Every day we have something new in AI. If people are following, oh my God, I have a headache with new things that comes in. So I have a long journey with AI. I'm not new to that. You know? I believe that people in 2005 told me there is no more things to do in AI. And still we are doing things. So anyway, all this story. So here I put the companies that I found and exited since 2007. Until 2023, I didn't exit a new one yet. Next year, we are announcing a major company in AI that will be born out of Theosym. You will hear about it soon. These companies are stories that are real, difficult. I lost 240 pounds, exited several times, and refounded companies and companies. And I'm still an investor. If any of you have good idea, I'm here in the show. I will be happy to discuss it. These days, I have still a new group. I put it here. It's called Calitex. So we have 5 labs now, 2 in California, 1 in Canada, 1 in France, and we are growing in the 3rd one in Chicago soon. So this is the lab business. I have a Trilexa, which is a PR and marketing with AI business. Theosym, that will be transforming next year into a company called Quantum General Intelligence. So you will hear about us a lot. And success without resilience is the bankruptcy of the soul. What does that mean? It's very difficult sometimes. You need to be resilient. You need to have a balance between what people tells you to do, which is sometimes true, what people don't tell you to do, and what comes from you. What I learned, the reality of the companies, you have storms, hurricanes, unknowns, forced pivots. Sometimes you need to change the direction of the company. You don't need to be hesitant about it. And sometimes rejection saves you. When I was starting, when a banker tells me no for a loan, I was sad. Now, if someone tells me no, I give him a big thank you because he saw something that I didn't. Either in the pitch deck that I did, in the plan. Maybe the project itself is bad. Maybe the market is not ready. So in the past, rejection was hurtful. People are rejecting you. Now it's a reason to improve your situation. I don't know how many of you got rejected recently, but I will tell you the economy is so bad. Like I have a huge and good project that are not going through. 2 years ago, any project we submit was going through. And here's come another reality that people are not aware of sometimes. I don't remember why I wanted to become an entrepreneur and a founder. It was just something inside of me. But I tell people, if you want to become rich, there are other means than being a founder. It's not equivalent. And most of the time, people who got like rich out of the founder experience is your sons, kids after you. You don't have time, you are just founding. Okay, so to have money, you can invest, you can do real estate, and even being an employee in big tech, there is a huge salaries here. Entrepreneurship is more about sacrificing everything, live with uncertainties, and risk losing it all. But that picture is nice, right? You are trying to go to the top with a lot of difficulties. So this is the story. I hope you found on that something that will be relating to, and I'm happy to take your questions.